Each year, Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of Lent. This year, Ash Wednesday falls on the 2nd of March. Bumi Adigun takes a look at the significance of the day. His report.
Christians converging on various churches to observe this year's Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday focuses the Christians' art on repentance and prayer, usually through personal and communal confession.
We are ambassadors of Christ. It is as though God be appealing through us, and the appeal that we make in Christ's name is, be reconciled to God.
Lent is a 40-day season marked by repentance, fasting, sober reflection, and ultimately celebration.
God responds, and the priest reminds us that dust we are, and to dust we shall return. So as he calls us into this season of sobriety, sober reflection. He helps us to go into ourselves, to acknowledge our sinfulness before God, to tell God that we are sorry, and to do certain actions of fasting, prayer, and charity, almsgiving. So that's
the 40-day period represents Christ's time of temptation in the wilderness, where he fasted and where Satan tempted him.
To show that we are just dust and we are just ashes, so that everybody will come into a reflection, a solemn one, that we are just a mortal being, we are just ash and we are just dust. And the implication of that to us is that we should live our life in such a way that we know that we cannot be here forever.
Lent asks believers to set aside a time each year for similar fasting, marking an intentional season of focus on Christ's life, ministry, sacrifice, and resurrection. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of $8.5 million for the evacuation of Nigerians stranded in Ukraine as a result of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. The Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Management and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, in a joint press briefing, explained that more than 2,000 Nigerians, mostly students, have registered to be evacuated. The federal government has made provisions for 5,000 Nigerians who may be affected and willing to return to Nigeria from where they are currently trapped. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubaru Sajai, informed the Federal Executive Council on progress made so far with respect to the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine.
Ministerial meetings to see how best we can address this matter as quickly as possible. But again, as you would appreciate, there are issues of resources involved. And this is where Mr. President's involvement has been very helpful. And that has enabled us to conclude arrangements to actually dispatch 3 aircraft to 3 different countries to evacuate our citizens. These countries include Poland, Hungary, and Romania.
The ministry presented 2 memos. One is for Council to approve the national policy for the protection and assistance of trafficked persons in Nigeria. And the second memo is the memo on the protocol for identification, safe return, and rehabilitation of trafficked persons in Nigeria.
The Ministry of Women Affairs presented a memo on the national gender policy to the Federal Executive Council. This memo is a revised national gender policy 2021 to 2026. It represents a set of minimum standards expected of Nigerian government to meet its mandate for gender equality, good governance, accountability, and being socially responsive to the needs of its vulnerable group.
Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talling, is not discouraged by the response the ministry got from the National Assembly on the efforts to see to it that women are allotted more positions during elections.
We are saying that for those that don't believe in it, we will continue to intensify our advocacy for them to believe in gender equality and the role that women can play when they are on the decision table to make Nigeria better.
Apart from the humanitarian issues, the Federal Executive Council also approved another memo presented by the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, and the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, Laolu Akode, gave details on that.
Approval for the supply and installation of 2 sets of complete high-capacity passenger security screening systems for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja.
Similarly, the National Emergency Management Agency has received another batch of 128 stranded Nigerian returnees from Libya. The Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed, who was represented by the NEMA Lagos Territorial Office Coordinator, Ibrahim Farinloye, received the voluntarily assisted returnees at the cargo wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, on Tuesday evening. Profiles of the returnees indicated that 80 adult males, 8 male children, and 2 male infants, along with 30 adult females, 4 female children, and 4 female infants, were voluntarily assisted back to the country by the body. In a bid to enhance the security architecture of the state, Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has expressed readiness to have a naval base in the state to watch over our riverine areas. Governor Abeokuta made this remark while playing host to the flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai, during a courtesy visit to his office at Okemoson, Abeokuta. Governor's office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta received the flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai, in his office at Okemoson, Abeokuta, on a courtesy visit to the capital of the Gateway State. While welcoming the FOC, Governor Abeokuta noted that the peaceful environment being enjoyed in the state was as a result of collaboration between the inter-security agencies, and this government assuring that government would continue to ensure security personnel are well equipped to effectively discharge their duties.
I want to thank you for very kind remarks, and I want to thank you for your intervention a few days after you assumed office in the Tonga Island. I am yet to visit Tonga Island, but I will endeavor to do so very soon. Sadly, we do not have a road that connects us to the island, but there is a road that connects the Republic to the island. So the only way to get there is by sea, and those are not expenses that a state government can bear. We've made our case to the federal government to come to the aid of these people. They want to be Nigerians, but if another country continues to endear themselves to them, they may not have a choice but to begin to identify with them.
He explained that the Nigerian Air Force and the Nigerian Customs Service have signified intention to have their base at the Ogun State Abeokuta Airport under construction in Ileshan Remo in Ikenne local government.
Our airports that we're building, the international airport, will soon be commissioned sometime the 4th quarter of this year. We started just about a year ago. We'll soon be unveiling a bus transit plan as well sometime this month. At that point in time, we'll also be unveiling part of our rail connections that we're collaborating with Lagos on, the blue and the red lines. And very soon we'll be announcing commencement of the construction of our seaport. To that extent, you will soon be getting a letter from me to the Chief of our Staff. There will be a letter requesting for the former presence of the full naval base in Ogun State. And we will do everything to support the establishment of that full naval base. Because if we are creating and having a port, it's important for us to ensure that we have significant naval presence.
Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai said the visit has afforded him the opportunity to discuss with the governor on areas of collaboration to improve on security architecture of the state.
Familiarize myself with happenings within the secondary school we have here, and also to pay courtesy call on His Excellency Prince Dr. Dapo Abeokuta, and to look at how things can be looked into security-wise based on the happenings that we've been having around, and how we can move things to make things much better for all and to have a safe and secure environment.
He also appreciated the current administration for our support to the security agencies in the states. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command was also at the office of the State Deputy Governor, Engineer Nollywood Salakoyedele. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
As still to come in the news, Senate passes 2 bills to establish more universities. We're glad to have you back. A total of 2.86 billion naira has been shared as the allocation to the 20 local governments in Ogun State for the month of February. This was revealed at the end of the Joint Account and Allocation Committee meeting for the month held at Obas Complex, Okeboson, Abeokuta. Matthew Showumi completes the story.
With the total of 4.16 billion naira as the first line charges against the 2.86 billion naira allocation, leaving over 700 million naira as revenue shortfall, the state government is again being called upon to come to the rescue of the local governments. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Afolabi Afuakpe, said the meeting is a statutory meeting which is being used to ensure transparency and participation of all stakeholders.
We will beckon our governor to come to our aid as usual. So when people are talking about meddling or tampering allocation of local government, I just think people are not well educated enough. Because if you know what goes on since I became commissioner in Ogun State, we've never, for once.
Commissioner for Finance and Chief Economic Advisor to the State Governor, Dapo Kubadejo, represented by Director of Inspectorate and Monitoring, the Ministry, Mr. Kolapo Ilori, presented the allocation to the meeting.
Now, we compare this figure with that of January. There's a decrease of 724 billion.
There were contributions from the stakeholders at the meeting.
Not just for today, but for the purpose of tomorrow. We borrow from other places and we'll see how we can marry it into what we have here.
Excess of net salary over allocation received yet to be funded. That yet to be effected and yet to be funded. I need clarification because when I get home, my paramount lab may ask me a question on that.
2 retiring directors from the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and Finance, who are members of JAC, were recognized for their contributions while prayers were offered for them. Matthew Showumi, OGTV News.
Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has scheduled judgment for May 23 in the dispute between the 36 states and the federal government over the management of local government funds. Justice Iyangeko chose the date on Wednesday after lawyers to the parties made their final submissions in a suit by the governments of the 36 states against the federal government. The 36 states in the suit, filed in the names of their attorneys general, are challenging the constitutionality of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit (NFIU) guidelines, which came into effect on June 1, 2019. The NFIU claimed that the 2019 guidelines, which among others limit daily cash withdrawal from the state and local government joint accounts to 500,000 naira, is intended to reduce crime vulnerabilities created by cash withdrawals from local government funds throughout Nigeria, effective from June 1, 2019. Listed as defendants in the suit are the Attorney General of the Federation, the NFIU, and the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has felicitated the world head of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye, who attained the age of 80. Governor Abiodun, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Kunle Shomori, said his new age did not only excite him and his family, but the entire people of Ogun State. He hailed Pastor Adeboye for what he called his invaluable commitment to a united, hate-free, rancor-free, equitable, and secular Nigeria. The governor described him as a living moral conscience of the nation and an inimitable academic whose contributions to the body of knowledge as a renowned mathematics scholar and the university system leaves behind a legacy that many can only dream about. The governor also prayed God will preserve the cleric for many more years in good health and sound mind, so that he remains a treasure of wise counsel and inspiration to his administration. The All Progressives Congress in Ogun State will hold leaders' consultative meetings across the 3 senatorial districts of the state tomorrow, Thursday, the 3rd of March 2022. In Ogun East, the meeting will hold at the Toro Hall, Ijebu-Ode, while the Ogun Central meeting will take place at Darktard Hotel, Abeokuta. For Ogun West, venue of the meeting is Governor's Lodge Hall in Ilaro. Expected at the meeting are past and present deputy governors, past and present National Assembly members, past and present council chairmen, and past and present state commissioners. Others are serving state party officers, special advisors, party chairmen and their secretaries, as well as board chairmen, commission members, senior consultants, senior special assistants, Governor's Advisory Council members, vice chairmen, and secretaries to local governments. Senators have passed the 2022 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill, which seeks, among other issues, to provide for the funding of premium motor spirit subsidy for the fiscal year. The amendment seeks to restore the provisions made for various capital projects in the 2022 budget, reinstate the 25.81 billion naira away from the power sector reform program, and 1.42 billion naira for the Ministry of Water Resources. It also seeks to transfer National Assembly expenditure of 16.59 billion naira to National Assembly statutory transfer provisions.
What we need to do is all these areas he has emphasized on, we will look into it one after the other and give our own critical analysis as to all of these that he has pointed out in the document that he forwarded to the National Assembly.
I will limit myself to the 254 projects, Mr. President, that we need to know those projects, and then the issue of the replication, at what point and by who. Thank you.
For a total sum of 161,499,052 naira only for capital expenditures and 43,870,592,044 naira only for recurrent expenditures and for other matters connected there with 2022 second reading taken. And the bill is referred to the Committee on Appropriation to report back within 1 week.
The federal government has expressed the hope that the one-month warning strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, on February 14 will soon be over. ASU called its members out on the warning strike to compel the federal government to address their demands, some of which had been lingering since 2009. Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, expressed the hope of truncation of the warning strike when he spoke with newsmen at the end of a conciliation meeting between the government and the union. Ngige said the meeting agreed on many issues and a timeline was scheduled for the implementation of the agreements. According to him, ASU officials agreed to return to their members with offers made by the government and revert to him before the week runs out. He noted that many of the items in the 2020 Memorandum of Action had been dealt with exhaustively, while some are still being addressed. Meanwhile, students from tertiary institutions in Ondo State, led by the National Association of University Students, on Wednesday shut down the popular Akure-Ilesha Highway while protesting the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The blockade generated heavy vehicular traffic along the highway, with numerous heavy-duty trucks and passenger buses stranded on their way to and from Abuja, Lagos, as well as Benin. After waiting for hours, motorists who could no longer bear the blockade took alternative but longer traveling routes. Esedere Abraham, the former student union president of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, said the demonstration will continue until ASU calls off the strike. Shitu Folari, vice chairman, Ondo State chapter, says students will ensure that this is ASU's final step. And in a related development, the Senate has passed 2 bills to establish a federal university in the Federal Capital Territory and Rivers State. They are the Federal Capital Territory University of Science and Technology, Abaji, Establishment Bill 2022, and Federal University of Environmental Technology, Koroma, Sakpawa, Tai, Ogoni, Rivers State, Establishment Bill 2022. In a related development, the bills were passed after the consideration of 2 separate reports presented by the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund. Vice Chairman of the committee, Senator Sandy Onu, in a presentation on behalf of the Chairman, Ahmad Baba Kaita, said the bill to establish the Federal Capital Territory University of Science and Technology, Abaji, will provide the legal framework needed by the institution to close the knowledge gap in science and technology. According to the lawmaker, the bill to establish the Federal University of Environmental Technology would allow for academic and professional programs leading to the award of first degrees, postgraduate degrees, and diplomas with special emphasis on environmental technology and research. Both bills to establish the true federal universities were passed by the Chamber after consideration by the Committee of the Whole House. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has sworn in over 1,700 corps members who have displayed patriotic zeal through the acceptance of deployment to Ogun State from the Batch A Stream 1 set. The ceremony, which was held at Shagamu Orientation Camp with the scheme specifically designed for Nigerian youths, will teach lessons on cardinal programs, paramilitary drills, physical training, sensitization on national issues, among others. Representing the Director General, NYSC Ogun State Coordinator, Dr. Mrs. Belinda Faniyi, reiterated that the NYSC scheme is integrated into promotion of national unity and urged corps members to use the platform to kickstart activities that will help them realize their potentials.
We are all already aware, one of the major objectives of NYSC is the promotion of national unity and integration. This informs your deployment away from your states of origin and your assemblage here from diverse ethnic, religious, and socio-economic backgrounds. This policy will not only offer you the opportunity for broader understanding of the country, but also entrench the culture of working together in an atmosphere filled with friendship, peace, harmony, and shared vision of a great and prosperous Nigeria.
The new corps members then took an oath of allegiance, which is expected to be a guide of conduct during their service year. The Batch A Stream 1 corps members are expected to remain at the orientation camp in the following weeks before their postings to places of primary assignment within the state. The Nigerian Society of Engineers Abeokuta branch has inducted new members into the corporate fold of the professional body. The event welcomed several state dignitaries and functionaries, seasoned academia and engineers, where about 34 members were officially absorbed into the society. Our reporter, Margaret Okunlola, was part of the event held at Valley View Auditorium, Abeokuta, the state capital. Our report.
Do you promise to meet all your obligations to the society and serve selflessly to the best of your ability? Yes.
These ones are seasoned engineers that have gone through the pros and cons of engineering and are now being officially inducted into the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. The induction was part of activities to mark the 2022 Engineering Week celebration of the branch. The president, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Tasiu Saad, who was represented by a one-time chairman of the branch, Engineer Abeokuta, charged the inductees to use their talent to better the engineering profession in the country.
Look at the environment. Think outside the box. What can you do to benefit your immediate environment?
In a lecture titled Repositioning of Technical Education for Economic Rejuvenation, the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, noted that technical education is a tool for economic transformation.
Technical education is capable of creating millions of jobs that can lead to sustainable economic development in our society. It should be encouraged, especially among youth, as there can be no sustainable socio-economic development without technical and vocational education.
Earlier in his welcome address, the chairman of the society, Abeokuta branch, Engineer Kolawole Olonode, congratulated the inductees, also noting that it is a well-deserved honor.
They should be good ambassadors of Nigerian engineers. They should take their responsibility, their work seriously, and everything they have been taught, they should try as much as possible to put them into practice.
Goodwill messages were received from dignitaries present at the event, who charged engineers to ensure that their output complies with globally accepted quality standards, as this would open up more opportunities in practicing the profession. The event climaxed with the conferment of awards on notable personalities and corporate bodies for their outstanding contributions to the development of engineering in the state and Nigeria in general. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The Lishabi Exquisite Ladies, a club of indigenous Egba women formed as a social and philanthropic society, has officially been launched at the Ake Palace, Abeokuta. The event, which marked the official inauguration of the club after nearly 2 years of inception, had in attendance the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremugbadebo, among other dignitaries. Emmanuel Dasaolu reports.
A dream that started like a child's play by 9 women 2 years ago, it was an agenda to build a social and philanthropic club of women bound together to contribute their own quota to the development of Egbaland. The Lishabi Exquisite Ladies Club has been officially launched at the Ake Palace ground at Abeokuta. The launching, which had as guest of honor the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremugbadebo, and other dignitaries, was spiced with dance and cultural displays. The chairman, planning committee, Mrs. Adewale Olanrewaju, highlighted the achievements of the club under its 2 years of its existence as beneficiaries who were given free eye surgeries trooped out to show their appreciation. Alaja Fausat Adebanke Amadu, president of the club, introduced all the 37 members of the club, cutting across individuals from home and abroad to Oba Gbadebo, and also expressed her delight.
I'm happy to be here today with my people that we've been coming from a long time, right from America, from London, together with our people here. I'm really happy for today, for the turn-up.
Afterwards, Alake officially launched the club, commending its charitable deeds, also accepted its grand patron membership.
If you do any good thing anywhere, if you keep quiet about it, others who are richer than you will not know that they could do even better than what you have done. It is my pleasure to accept to be your grand patron and to launch your club for the greater Egaland.
The event was concluded after the cutting of commemorative cake by the royal father, assisted by members of the club. Emmanuel Dasaulu, OGTV News.
The murder of Sofiat Kehinde on January 30, 2022 drew the attention of Nigerians to ritual killings in the country.
Those things tend to motivate people to do wrong things.
According to home movie viewers, Nollywood can be used as an instrument to reduce ritual killings being experienced in the country, rather than the government shifting blame on the movie producers.
It's now time for the business segment of the news with Simia Tabaru.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. Economists at the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank have revealed that persistent inflationary pressure will limit the ability of central bank in Nigeria and other emerging markets to borrow from their respective government in order to finance their budget. The economist, director of the IMF Strategy, Policy and Review Department, CELA, and the senior vice president, chief economist of the World Bank Group, Carmen Reinhardt, disclosed this in an article titled "Shining a Light on Debt," published on IMF's blog. According to them, the pandemic has increased the gross financing needs of the public sector, and many emerging economies have run down this source of financing. The ECOWAS and friendly countries trade fairs to boost regional trade and galvanize entrepreneurship development has envisaged by the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The trade fair convener, Sylvester, said this in Lagos on the sidelines of the ECO fairs on Thursday, adding that Nigeria would gain a massive inflow of foreign direct investment from the annual event. He said the fair would also boost the activities of the small and medium enterprises, as the exhibition stands were provided at affordable rates to encourage and support small businesses. They said ECO Fairs was born out of the desire to create a common business platform for regional entrepreneurs across various sectors and countries. Brent, the crude against which Nigeria's oil is priced, crossed the $105 per barrel price as it rose to the highest price ever recorded since about 14 years following the ongoing war in Ukraine after it was invaded by neighboring Russia. In order to gain from the rising price of crude, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has vowed to increase Nigeria's oil production as the country had not been meeting its OPEC crude oil production quota lately. Early last month, OPEC increased Nigeria's crude oil production target for the month of March, despite the fact that the country had been missing its approved monthly output target. Meanwhile, Germany plans to phase out nuclear energy as Britain expands its London global crude oil prices surging to more than $110 per barrel, and the cost of natural gas skyrocketed to a new record in Europe on Wednesday as Russia's escalating military campaign in Ukraine stoked fear in markets about a supply choke. Brent's crude futures, the global benchmark, jumped nearly 9% to $113.65 per barrel, the highest level since 2014. U.S. oil futures also gained more than 8% to trade at $112 per barrel. In Europe, the price of wholesale natural gas spiked 60% to a record high of $215 per megawatt hour, more than double where it stood last Friday. Russia's energy riches have not been directed and directly targeted by Western sanctions imposed following the invasion of Ukraine, but it's a huge card the United States and Europe might yet play if Russia presses on with its assault. It's still on the table. It's not off the table. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on Wednesday. In a related development, the price of wheat has been surging to multi-year highs since Russia began a special military operation in Ukraine, signaling the start of a full-blown invasion of its neighbor. The rally in the price of wheat is as a result of investors' worry about a potential supply disruption, being that Russia is a top wheat exporter in the world, accounting for 24% of the total wheat export in the world. Wheat is used as the main ingredient for a lot of food items such as bread, cereals, biscuits, pastries, pastry, etc. It is also converted into flour and used for several other food items. Due to the ongoing war, wheat futures trading on the Chicago Board of Trade are trading at their highest level since the global financial crisis of 2008. In response to war in Ukraine, as of the time of this report, the United States wheat futures is currently up 5.37%, currently trading $984.12 basis point, its highest since February 20, 2008. And of course, that's the end of the business news tonight. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.